Alive and alert on the north side of the dirty. It is your man D-Real coming at you with another Be Real with D-Real, where Edutainment explains it. Today we're going to be explaining, or more accurately, should I say, talking about superhero weaknesses. And we're not just going to be talking about, the regular superhero weaknesses. We're going to be talking about the ridiculous ones. Now, when I say ridiculous, that means this is something that is going to make it extremely difficult or near impossible for you to be a superhero if you have this weakness. Now, top 5 ridiculous superhero weaknesses. We're going to get into it here in a second, but before we do, let's get the legalese out the way. Comment, like, subscribe, and share the Be Real with D-Real page so that when the material comes out, you get it. If you're digging what a brother shoveling, put some dirt in my bucket. Comment, like, subscribe, and share because edutainment is what I do. Let's get to this first ridiculous weakness. It is a weakness held by former Green Lantern Alan Scott, currently known as Sentinel. He may or may not have this weakness, but the fact he had it is still worth talking about. Wood. My dude has a weakness to wood. That is Sportsmaster busting him in the back of the head with a bat. I mean, for most superheroes, getting busted in the head with a bat is probably a problem. But the point is, wood is everywhere. What happens if somebody gets captured in a forest? What if you got to fight in a forest? What if you got to fight in a log cabin? What if you have to fight where lumberjacks are chopping down trees? You know what I mean? I mean, there are situations where you're going to run into a lot of wood. As a superhero, that could be a problem for you. I'm told that Alan Scott had this weakness because when he first became Green Lantern, that's what he thought he was weak against. So that's what he became weak against. Got it. From what I hear, he has overcome this weakness as the Sentinel of the Starheart, and so that flaw isn't really a flaw. But if we're going to talk about flaws that are flaws, let's talk about my man Gladiator. Gladiator is, for all intents and purposes, Superman with a mohawk. Heat vision, superhuman strength, invulnerability, super breath. Gladiator has all of this. However, if Gladiator loses confidence in himself, he loses his powers. So Gladiator's weakness is a lack of self-esteem. Yeah. I mean, I get it. That's deep. It's really deep, but at the same time, it's like, y'all, come on now. Don't superheroes gotta have confidence in themselves? And if every time you have a crisis of confidence, you lose your powers, that ain't gonna work out too well for you. So that's gotta be, it's gotta be in the realm of the ridiculous. It absolutely has to be. Number 4 is self-esteem. Wow. Okay. We're gonna go back to another Green Lantern for number 3. And y'all know what's about to happen. You know that it's Hal Jordan, Green Lantern Corps, the color yellow. Now, here's the thing I want to say to y'all about the color yellow. That has been his weakness for the longest time. But then we come to find out it isn't a weakness so much as it was an impurity in the power battery. Parallax. Remember that guy? So that was the impurity in the power battery, which by proxy made all Green Lantern rings vulnerable to the color yellow. Supposedly, that's been dealt with so that things like this don't happen. To deal with Green Lantern, Batman and Robin painted an entire room yellow as well as themselves, and everything in the room was yellow. Knowing Green Lantern couldn't do nothing about it. To add insult to injury, he sicks Robin on it. And Robin, the boy wonder, proceeds to kick Green Lantern's ass. Bruh. See what can happen when you have a vulnerability to the color yellow? you get your throat collapsed by a 12-year-old boy. Probably don't want to have a vulnerability. And John Stewart in Justice League Unlimited got some yellow jello thrown at him. Bruh, you don't want to have to be explaining that. You you do not want to have to be explaining that. I'm gonna go with Martian Manhunter for number 2. Again, one of them weaknesses that done been retconned to be mental, but still, it's like if you in the superhero business, you absolutely cannot John Jones have a vulnerability to fire.
Freaking Martian Manhunter. Stop, drop, and roll, partner. Hang in there. We'll get this.
Bruh, volcanoes, buildings on fire, fire-based enemies, the sun, solar, man, the possibilities are endless as to what kind of fire-based stuff you could run into. Bruh. Come on. You can't be a superhero and have a vulnerability. I remember there was a superhero over in Marvel named Captain Ultra, and he was trying out for the Frightful Four, and my man had all the powers he needed, except he fainted at the sight of flame. See what I'm saying? Got to overcome those kind of things, superheroes. You got to overcome those kinds of things. Now, the number one vulnerability for me, my list, my number one vulnerability, by far has got to be the most ambiguous and weird vulnerability of all. Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman. Piercing weapons are Wonder Woman's invulnerability. Really? Okay. We all know Wonder Woman's known for the magic bracelets that she deflects many things with, that can absorb energy-based attacks, can take a shot from Doomsday, can take a shot from Mongol, hell, can take a shot from Superman, but not a bullet. Here we see what looks like Princess Diana tanking energy blasts. Are those energy blasts or are those bullets? That looks like regular old bullets to me. Those don't look like specialized guns. They just look like regular old bullets that are hitting her. Now, do they mean piercing weapons or do they mean stabbing weapons? Because to cut and to pierce, similar if not the same thing. But to stab and you know, with a blade, that's different. You say stabbing or edged weapons, then okay, I could kind of see that, but that's still just as ridiculous. But right here, clearly bullets bouncing off of her. So piercing? Is it piercing or stabbing? Bullets bounce off, but arrows don't. You see what I'm saying? So over the course of her 80-something years of existence, we haven't been able to work out an effective vulnerability, because it used to be bondage. You could tie her up, you know what I mean? But that was because the guy who created Wonder Woman was a freak. So that's where that comes from. So to me, this is number one because it's so ambiguous. And depending on what day it is, the vulnerability varies. It could be bullets one day, another day it might not be. It could be knives and spears and arrows one day, another day it might not be. She can burn, but she got a little bit of a healing factor, so she's kind of invulnerable, but she's not invulnerable. She can kind of be shot, but she can only be shot with lasers, but not with bullets. But maybe arrows will pierce. Make up your damn mind. What's the vulnerability going to be, and let's clearly define the parameters. It's been all over the place over the course of the character's history. That's my top 5 weak weaknesses. There you go. That works. There's a working title. Top 5 weak weaknesses. What do you think about it? Drop it in the comments. That's it for now, but fret not, I will be coming at you with another one of them other ones, and until I do, y'all be good. Be good to each other.